Happy St. Patrick's Day! Ish. Kinda. I'm wearing St. Patrick's Day clothing, so stay tuned for an update on that. Squirrel and I are doing very well at our social distancing, although she had a very firm talk with me yesterday. I did plan to go out and take a walk with Piedmont, and she came over. I did keep a very good distance. At no time did we touch, but Squirrel insisted that I wash my hands after the walk, just, to stay safe. I told her that I'm pretty sure that Piedmont's safe, but she was very adamant that with our social distancing, we have to be careful. And she's right. All right. As for what we're doing, it has come to my attention that you have no idea what we're doing because you can't see the board. Yes, the board in my classroom that tells us what the plan is. So let's take a look at what our plan is. So for Monday and Tuesday, we are just going to be doing the basic proofs review. This was question 1 through 12. This will be question 13 through the end, which would be 20. And then I'm going to want you to hand in the packet. And we're going to talk exactly how we're going to hand in the packet after I do a few more of the ones on the packet. I had a few people have questions on number 15 and on number 18. So on 15 and 18, we are going to be doing some work, and then I'm going to explain to you how to hand in the packet. Tomorrow, what's going to happen is we are going to start the new unit. Woot! Who's excited? Squirrel is very excited by this, yes. I know they don't have their packets. I'm going to post it online so that they have their packets. Some of them don't have printers. I'm aware of that. They can do it on regular paper. It's just proofs. I know, but it's just proofs. Okay, they could use lined paper. They could use computer paper, yes. No, they cannot use toilet paper. Toilet paper is a commodity right now. Toilet paper is very important. They're not allowed to use toilet paper to do their proofs unit. Silly squirrel. All right, so we're going to do our new unit. We're going to start with some long proofs. Don't worry, they're not that bad. We're going to do some long proofs, and then Thursday what we're going to do is we are going to talk about some circle geometry proofs. And Friday we're just going to be practicing proofs. So that is our schedule for the week. Stay tuned and I will update you on more stuff that we are going to be doing. Right now, we are on Tuesday. So we are going to be talking about the 13 through 20 problems, and I'm going to teach you how to hand in a packet now that we are in the middle of a pandemic. So let's take a look at question number 15. For question number 15, we're going to start with our statement and reason chart. And of course, we start with our given. All right, our first order of business is always the given. So we're going to do FD equals GB. That is a given. FD equals GB. And at this point, we notice that there is a big problem. There are a lot of triangles in this picture. There is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's a lot of triangles, Squirrel. We don't normally have that many triangles. Okay, So let's take a look at the triangles we actually want. AFD, AFD, and EGB. Yes, Squirrel, you're right. It's the same triangles as number 16. So they are overlapping triangles. And what do we do when we've got overlapping triangles? Redraw the triangles. Good job, Squirrel. Yeah, you're very smart. So let's take a look, and we're going to redraw the triangles. And so FD is going to be, this is AFD and BGE. Yeah, it's going to be that long side over there. So it's going to be this side, and it's going to be this side. Okay, so that's our first given. Our second given, measure angle GBD. I know my angle sign doesn't look good. And measure angle FDB. So GBD. GBD would be this angle right here on the blue triangle. And FDB would be this angle right here on the pink triangle. So we got our pink triangle, we got our blue triangle, and we've got a pair of angles, and we got a pair of sides. That's exciting. It's a lot of good for givens. Okay, next one. AB equals DE. Given. AB equals DE. And that's where we run into problems. AB is not a side in the pink triangle, and DE is not a side in the blue triangle. It's only a piece of the side. They're both missing something very important. They're both missing BD. What do we notice about BD? Which triangle is BD in? Squirrel? Squirrel has no idea. BD is in both triangles. You see how it's in the blue triangle and in the pink triangle? Yeah, so we're going to call BD a reflexive. So BD equals BD, and that's a reflexive side. We call it reflexive because it's in both triangles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to want to take AB, and I'm going to want to merge it with BD to get this whole side. And then I'm going to want to take DE and merge it with BD to get this whole side. In order to write that, we're going to say I want AB plus BD, and I want DE plus BD, and we're going to call that addition. Just letting them know that I'm going to take those sides and I'm going to add on the reflexive BD side. Then I can merge them and say, okay, now that I have AB and BD, that makes AD. So AD is equal to, well, DE plus BD makes BE. And that is called side addition. So that gets me this side, and it gets me this side, at which point I can say side angle side, triangle AFD, congruent to triangle EGB. All right, so that's how we do 15. Like 16, we are doing addition, and in this case, side addition instead of angle addition. So if we take a look at what's happening with 13 and 14, those are both going to be side additions, like question number 15. For number 13, you are going to be looking at triangle ACF. So it looks like this bottom side we're probably going to have to add. And ECF. And for 14, we are looking at ACG. So ACG and EGC. EGC. So we are either going to have to add this side or this side. Looks like those sides are the ones that are splintered. Although it could be the side that they share, although at that point you can just say a reflexive side. So take a look, try and do 13 or 14 by yourselves. If you struggle, you know how to message me. That is how you do 15 and 16. Once again, if you have questions, message me. Let's take a look at 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now, for 18 is the one that I want to go over because 18 not only has a linear pair thing going on, it also has a definition thing going on. So let's start with our first given. Triangle ADF is isosceles. Spelled wrong. Given. So ADF. ADF is this triangle right here. So we've got this orange triangle in the middle is isosceles. Now, will that help me with the two triangles that I want? ABD is over here, and ACF is over here. Okay, so we basically have three triangles right next to each other. We got the orange triangle, which we know is isosceles, and then the pink and blue triangles, which we are trying to prove. So the first thing that I want to talk about is isosceles. Because we've got isosceles, the first thing that we need to do is, what, Squirrel? Squirrel, we went over this yesterday. When we have a definition, what do we need to do? Definition of isosceles. She's really struggling with this whole basic proofs thing. I'm not sure how she's going to make it through advanced proofs. It's going to be really rough. I'm going to have to do some extra tutoring with her. It's okay. It's just, she learns it slowly and it's fine. Proofs are hard. Okay, so we've got a vocabulary word. Our next step has to be definition of isosceles. Now, there are two things about the definition of isosceles. The first thing in the definition of isosceles, two things. The first thing in the definition of isosceles is isosceles means two sides are equal. So that means AD and AF are going to be equal. So AD equals AF. So we're going to write that out. Two sides are equal. Also, for the definition of isosceles, that means two angles are equal. The two angles that are equal are going to be 2 and 3. So measure angle 2 equals measure angle 3. That's the definition of isosceles right there. Okay, good news. For our pink triangle and our blue triangle, we have a pair of sides because of that definition of isosceles. And we can get a pair of angles. If you notice, 2 and 3 are not in the pink and the blue triangles, so we're going to have to get them there. To get them there, we do linear pairs. So we know 2 and 3 are equal. We're going to try and get 1 and 4 equal. And that way we are going to get our two triangles congruent. So we've got this triangle and we got this triangle. Those are the triangles that we care about. We just proved that those sides are congruent, are equal. We're going to try and get the two angles now. So we've got measure angle 2 plus what? Measure angle 2 and measure angle 1 are linear pairs, which means they equal 180. And 3 matches up with, measure angle 3 matches up with measure angle 4. So match them up. That's called linear pairs. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a huge long thing that encompasses everyone. So measure angle 2 matches with measure angle 1, and measure angle 3 matches with measure angle 4. That's called substitution. Okay. We know that 2 and 3 are the same. So because we know that 2 and 3 are the same, we can either turn them both to 2's or both to 3's. Squirrel, do you want to turn them both to 2's or both to 3's? She's glaring at me. I don't know what that means. I'm going to say 2. We're going to say 2. So measure angle 2. We change them both to measure angle 2's. So this is measure angle 1 still, and this is still measure angle 4. That's our second substitution. And then what we can do, since we both have the measure angle 2's, those cancel out and leave us with just the measure angle 1 and the measure angle 4. So that gives us measure angle 1 and measure angle 4. So now we've got a pair of sides and a pair of angles. That's very exciting. And that's called subtraction. Okay, got to measure 2 sides, 2 angles. We're good. We need something else. So this angle is now congruent to that angle. So we got that. Beautiful. Have we run out of givens? Not yet. We still have another given. Woot! BD equals FC. So BD equals FC. That is a given. BD is right here and FC is right there. And that's all we need. So we've got triangles congruent to triangle. By side, angle, side. Now we say it's side, angle, side because the angle is trapped between my 2 sides. It is trapped right between my 2 sides. If the angle were not trapped between my 2 sides, then we'd have an issue. So this is going to be triangle ABD is congruent to triangle ACF. Now, just a warning, all of these should work out. All of the problems 1 through 20 should work out. They should be good. You shouldn't get any ASS, any AA, no AAA, no SSA. Those are all illegal. And I haven't included any HL. Hypotenuse leg is slightly different, and we had some issues with that last time. So I haven't included any of those yet. We're gonna review them, but I wanted to just make sure that we were good with those. Okay. So that's how we do 18. As you see, we also did 20 in class. You are to do 17 and 19. Try and do them, see what you can do. This is all review from what we've done. 1 through 20 should be completed and should be turned in by noon tomorrow. By noon tomorrow, we're going to start our next lessons, and our lessons are on advanced proofs. If you can't do the basic proofs, you're going to really struggle with the advanced proofs. So I want all of this handed in by tomorrow at noon, Wednesday noon. To do that, it's going to be complicated because you can't just come into my classroom and put it in the bin like you normally do. So we're going to go over some ways to turn it in. Now, probably the easiest way to do this for you would be to go onto your Edmodo, since you're already there, and up here you've got the messages. Most of you have already messaged me. For those of you who haven't, I'm going to be calling and checking up on you to make sure that you are still alive, that the corona hasn't gotten you, and that you know what you should be doing. What you're going to do is you're going to go to messages, so I'm going to click on messages here. And you can go to new message or the message that we've already done. And if you look right here under type a message, you can attach documents. You could add from your library. You could insert emojis. Here, you can send me pictures. So what I want you to do is I'm going to have you take your device, take pictures of your packet, and you can send them to me on Edmodo. Now, Tate has actually already done that. So if we take a look, I'm not going to go slowly enough so that you can actually copy off of Tate because that's illegal. You could attach them just like what Tate has done. Now, some of you are going to struggle with the attaching. Don't worry. If you struggle with the attaching and you need help, just message me. You could also email me. If you would like to email me, you can take pictures of it and you can email me. My email is gmUcsd.org. So you can email them to me. You can share them in a Google Doc if you have them copied and pasted onto a Google Doc. You can share your drive with me if you have a Google Drive. You can try and find me on Facebook and message me on Facebook. Right now, what I want you to do is I want you to first try, see if you can do it via Edmodo. That's your first attempt. I want you to try and do it on Edmodo. If not, try and email me them. If not, message me and we will find another way to get them to me. If you have any questions, always message me on Edmodo so that I can get back to you and we can start a conversation. Thank you very much for listening to our St. Patrick's Day version of Are We Gonna Die? Are We Not? Probably not, because this will not kill you. Corona, we are just trying to do social distancing because we don't want the elderly in our community to die. We are trying to make sure that those people stay healthy and that the coronavirus does not spread as quickly. Thank you very much.